Hello, Isaiah. Should I make you the host? Because I'm the currently the host in the Zoom. Oh, you're currently on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can make me the host.
Okay, awesome. There you go.
Hello there.
Looks like somebody forgot to send a text message out today.
Well, the text messages are automated now.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
File.
Starting to come in.
Share. Scott, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Hey, this was the first weekend that my 49ers, the Bills, and Miami actually won all the same week.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the 49ers look pretty impressive, actually.
I know. I was a little shocked. Well, you know what? I don't think they've ever lost to the Rams in a few years. So
yeah, they haven't. They just they have their number.
They do. And we're on we used to call them the friggin' Rams. Well, actually, but we used the F word.
Yeah.
And then when the Titans and the Rams met at the Super Bowl, we had a 5-year-old neighbor who you couldn't cuss in front of. So I had T-shirts printed up with the F and Rams, and every time you wanted to say it, you would just open up the T-shirt because you couldn't read.
That's funny. I wish I had one of those for the Bills.
Yeah.
Wish I had a lighter. I wish I had a lighter in the office when I see where your Miami Dolphins shirt. I just light it on fire. How about that?
Yeah, the Dolphins Hawaiian shirt that I get away with because it's technically a button up.
Yeah. Hey, out of curiosity, Scott, did you get a text message about this meeting?
I think I did actually. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I got it on for this one. Yeah.
All right. We're testing an automated texting solution, and I'm concerned that it's not going to work as good.
Well, actually, I got the Gmail one, so let me see if the texting one came in too. No, I didn't get a text. It came through Gmail.
Okay, so just John, we're gonna have to.
Yep, I'll have to get with Lloyd.
Sense why there's nobody here because they didn't get the text message. So,
well, it's on the schedule. Well, I just always know it's.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people. I think people get used to the text message coming out as a reminder, and so people I think that I think that's
No, but I do because I know on the like for the two-day challenge, it was nice getting the text, but then I had to copy that bit.ly link and then put it in my drafts, and then bring it to my computer. So here comes people.
That is kind of a pain.
Yeah. And also I think because this meeting, the tech meeting didn't run in late. So I think like people are now just coming back on because they had to sign off for a while. So it could be that too.
How did that meeting go?
It went really good. I mean, John offered like a half hour one-on-one time for people to go over. So yeah, I mean, the value that you guys are adding. And then they were explaining more of the social media and how to work with Line Desk. As soon as this is over, I'm going to hook up those programs that you have through Line Desk to Facebook and start that. Yeah.
That's great. I love it. All right.
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
I don't see why you need the help. Seems like you know everything.
I don't know the social media part. I mean,
Scott's a good example of somebody who stays plugged in. And, Scott, I think in 2022, it's going to really pay off when, you're like, I'm sensing your systems are really starting to get fine tuned.
Yeah. Well, especially today when I started to learn how to use Line Desk, and when I went to contacts and just see hot all on my screen. So started calling one right before in this 15 minutes. So yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. So today, what I want to do for the listing domination is first and foremost, have you guys picked a challenge that you're going to focus on?
Social media.
Social media. Okay. So how about you, Laura? Did you pick a challenge from the event that you're going to focus on?
Yes, mine is lead gen and lead follow-up.
Okay, good. And how about Debbie and Jennifer? Were you guys at the challenge? Did you guys pick a one of those challenges on the flywheel to focus on?
Well, sorry, but everything is a challenge for me. I'm waiting for somebody to, help me to start.
Okay. All right. How about you, Debbie?
I did not attend the challenge, but I'm still trying to get my database worked out, and I need to do the lead follow-up better.
Okay. That's cool. So the theme of this challenge was very different. What we did is we looked at the entire flywheel, Debbie, and we broke it down into the key areas of impact in our business. And we came up with a specific set of action steps for that one key area of impact that we really wanted to focus on over the next 21 days. And if you want to focus on the lead gen lead follow-up one, I'll make sure you get that suggested action step checklist since you tune in a lot. We'll make sure we get that over to you. And then Laura, do you remember that checklist is in the workbook?
Yes.
Okay. And Debbie, what I'll do is I'll make sure, because you're always engaged. I'm just going to give you the work. I'm just going to send you the workbook right now.
Cool. Thank you.
I think it's page 15
of the workbook. Great.
Yes.
So,
is that of the 2022 playbook or the
No,
2021?
This is specifically for the challenge workbook.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
What do I have that?
If you weren't at the last challenge, you wouldn't have it. No. Okay, but everyone's going to get a little special.
I'm struggling right now because
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm struggling right now because I took over $1 million listing for somebody who went to Korea, and we in the last 3 weeks haven't had any viewings. I've had some calls. I ran a Facebook, Instagram ad. Now I'm thinking I need to be running a Google local service ad. I don't know what to do to sell this listing at this point. And I've talked to her about the price reduction and everything. She's a little hesitant about that, but I got to get it sold. She's leaving the country this week. And
okay. All right.
Hold on.
That's going to be perfect segue into today's training, because I'm going to train today on how to market a listing properly to get it sold and to generate more leads. So
you're awesome. You're awesome.
Perfect. And I got a step-by-step checklist that we're going to go through to get it done. Okay. So Alfredo, I don't know if you were at the last challenge, but what we're doing is we're picking a part of the flywheel, and I'll pull it up on the screen here. And we're recommending that you hyper focus on a specific part of the flywheel over the course of 21 days. And that workbook breaks down a recommended checklist on proven strategies to implement for that focus. So the first area of focus is just making sure your technology and marketing is set up the right way, and your leads are organized, and everything is all of your marketing automation is running properly with your A, B, and C list. And I'm going to give an example why this is so important if you haven't done this particular 21-day challenge. I had a team with us for about 6 months. They wanted to have a private call with me because I work with them pretty closely. They're like, hey, how do we take this thing to the next level? And the first question I asked them, I said, well, what are your lead sources? They're using ZBuy or Zillow. And I think they have one other lead source from Facebook. And I said, okay, well, are your automated marketing campaigns turned on for your A, B, and C lists, including your SOI? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, let's get them turned on. we turned them on for their A, B, and C lists. The marketing automation started reaching out automatically. They generated 21 positive responses in the first 2 days.
Wow.
Okay. They're averaging 5 to 7 opportunities responding back positively each and every day after that. So first and foremost, if your marketing automation is not going to the leads that you have coming in, I just highly recommend that be your first challenge. It does flow into lead generation, lead follow-up, by the way. Okay, so if it is part of that lead gen, lead follow-up challenge, and that's outlined in that workbook that I just submitted to you. So Alfredo, I would probably recommend that maybe that's something that you start off with and work with your marketing coach just to make sure that's really sound, if you're just a brand new client. And and then just to make sure folks, something on this wheel. So there's a lead gen, lead follow-up challenge. There's the social media challenge, which I think, Scott, that's what you said you were going to work on. Okay. Then there's the lead conversion challenge. And that's really what I'm going to be training on today. The lead conversion challenge is how to generate more listings. Okay. And really focusing on getting more listings. And then there's a client experience and an agent attraction challenge too that we're rolling out. So the goal is moving forward in these meetings, we're going to have focuses, but I'm going to first ask you how your 21-day challenge is going. Is that fair? So when we see each other, I'm going to ask you, how's your challenge going? What are you running into? How is it working out? And so that way we have a freaking breakthrough. Every 21 days, we're having breakthroughs, right? And we're hyper-focused every 21 days. And then we rotate. We focus on something different. We have another breakthrough, right? And I think we can all agree, if we keep doing that, we commit to each 21 days and then recalibrate for a week and then hyper-focus again on something else, that our 2022 is going to be freaking amazing, right?
Yes.
So that's the psychology behind the coaching model going into 2022. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to talk about kind of a step-by-step process that you can generate more listing opportunities from a listing that you have. Okay. So first and foremost, I want you to identify a listing that you're going to commit to executing this on. And if this is going to distract you from your challenge and you can't do both, then I recommend maybe not doing it right away, but I at least want to give you the breakdown here. Okay. So I think Debbie already has her listing chosen, right? That's cool. Debbie, out of curiosity, how overpriced do you think it is?
It's at $1,050,000. She paid $850 for it 2 years ago. And while it should get that in a hot market, it's been on the market too long. I got it after 60 something days.
Okay.
And I've told her we need to come down under $1 million. She's not willing to do that. She's only willing to come down 25 grand, which
okay.
I'm making $1,025,000, but that's not going to hit any slides in the MLS. So,
Right. Let me use this as a case study then. I'm going to give you a real strong recommendation here. Okay.
Okay. Love it.
You got to meet with her in person.
I have.
And when you do next time though, I want you to walk her through step by step the marketing plan that you're going to implement here today.
Okay.
And then I want you to get her to agree that that's a pretty extensive marketing plan. And that after you run this over the next couple of weeks and you show her the statistics, that if she'd be open-minded to potentially considering a price reduction after you've done all these things.
Okay.
And if she has a sane mind, which not every seller does, right? Because it's very emotional for them, or they might be off course. She will agree to be open-minded to a pre-negotiated price drop. Okay. Now, the reason why sometimes our sellers are not open to that is because they don't have enough evidence, and there's not enough trust that the price is the problem. We haven't given them enough evidence to show them that the price is the problem. Does that make sense to everybody? Can we?
Yes.
Now, not always, but a lot of times we need to show them the plan, let them know exactly how we're going to execute the plan, let them know when we're going to follow up with them on the execution of the plan. And if it didn't sell, show them hard statistics on everything that you did, all the numbers, and why it's time to have a price drop. And usually if you do that the right way, it'll work itself out. Okay.
Okay.
So Debbie, will you commit to doing that?
I absolutely will. Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. So next thing, let's talk about marketing the listing. All right. You all have access to geographical data. So what I want you to do, Debbie, is pull a minimum of 200 leads around that listing.
Okay.
Minimum. If you can go further out, that'd be great.
Okay. People, homeowners around there?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll help you do that. So you're just, if you have trouble using that geo farming tool, that geo lead tool on your dashboard, if it's not working for you, just show up to one of the tech classes.
Okay. I can.
And they'll do it for you. And then the next thing I want you to do is upload those leads into your CRM with us, into the Ren Marketing Hub.
Okay.
And then launch a ad in the Home Spotter tool within the hub, showcasing that listing. And you're gonna bring in your entire database, including that neighborhood.
Okay.
And the reason why you're going to do that is it's going to create thousands of views and impressions to the home. Thousands, Debbie. Meaning like in 2 weeks, you're going to be able to show her or whoever it is, you're going to be able to show that person that you literally had thousands of people see the home. And you'll be able to show her the stats. So that's why that's so important to do. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do a just listed. You're going to want to go to Ren postcards, that Ren postcards tab on the dashboard.
I've used them before.
Okay. And just do a just listed, just sold postcard campaign.
Just sold or just listed?
Just listed. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I put the two of them together. I always say them together when it really is, the first part is just
one or the other. Right. Gotcha.
All right. And here's the thing. The point here is not necessarily whether the postcards are going to work or not. Okay. Because you need to get the price drop and you need to prove and show evidence of what you put into this thing. And so it's another point of evidence. So even if you're like skeptical whether the just listed program is going to work, this is a huge commission if you can get it to sell, right? Mm-hmm. So, and it's not going to sell unless you get it to the right price, most likely. So you're making an investment in her, and when you're showing that, she's going to be more likely to come back to the table, and the more things you're doing. So that's the psychology of that. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing you're going to do is you're going to also send out an email blast to your database. You cringed a little bit there. You don't want to?
I can do it.
What's your hesitation? And it's okay, be open.
Well, I can send out an email blast, but man.
What are you concerned about? Be open, it's okay.
I don't know. I don't know if people will really be interested in it. And I don't know how to formulate it so it looks nice if I'm going to put like a published piece is what I'm thinking you're saying to send versus just an email. Hey, I got a listing. Do you know anybody who'd be interested in it? What's the email say?
That's exactly it. Yeah. And we can help you craft that. Okay.
Okay.
but I think you're going to have some nice images and pictures. You have nice images and pictures of the property, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, the nice thing, and John Lehman, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can just upload those pictures and attach them.
Okay.
Right to the
So, can I talk on that for a second,
Please.
Isaiah?
Yep. What's your recommendation?
So Debbie, with that, the marketing coaches are actually trained on how to help you design a just listed email template.
Oh yeah,
And
I forgot they have those. Yes.
Yeah, we have that video training for them. And what it does is you can, instead of just uploading those images as attachments, we can actually embed them into an email. So imagine a table of like
Cool.
8 cells, and each image goes into one of those cells. And then there's an actual process where, you know, it talks about the pricing of the home, right? That you just listed it, that it's available. And then what I would recommend is getting with them on some sort of landing page where they can book an appointment for a showing or book an appointment for an open house, right? Maybe you decide to do an open house next Saturday and you want to let people know about this. You want to make sure that's in your messaging, and you're just trying to generate foot traffic to the home.
Right.
Because even if you
we are holding an open house next Saturday, so.
Perfect. See, look at me go.
You're awesome. You make a great realtor.
Debbie,
Isaiah?
How many open house signs are you're going to use for?
I've got about 25.
Okay. Is there a way
and it's a little 2-lane country road that leads back to one of our largest chain of lakes, and you know, this house is on the chain of lakes, so I'll have plenty of signs on the little 2-lane road.
Okay, 25 is enough then?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. Then so you got the open house. That was what I was going to talk about next.
Okay.
That template will make it super easy for you to do the email.
Okay, cool.
And the nice thing too is that if you want to, you can also take even more geodata that is surrounding the area and send an email out to that whole local area.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
And that way
I'm supposed to have a meeting today with Matt Grunman, who's my marketing guy. So
great. Make this your priority then. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Now here's what's going to happen. 2 things are going to happen. You're going to attract a buyer, and you're going to find somebody after doing all this stuff. But also what's going to happen is most of the things we're suggesting that you do are going to be trackable, meaning you're going to be able to show her how many impressions she got on the email blast that you did in her market. You're going to be able to show her how many people clicked on the link and how many impressions you got through the social media or through the paid ad campaign. You're going to show her all the data that you collected from the open house. You're going to show her how many postcards that went out. And just so you know, Debbie, those postcards actually have a scanning app on them.
Yes.
Okay, you know that? Okay, got it. So you'll be able to show her how many people scan the card, if anybody, anything. And so what you do is you just get all of that data and collect it at the end after you showed her what you're going to do for your marketing plan. Okay, then you get all of that data and you collect it, put it on one simple sheet. Okay. And you follow up with her and say, this is what we've done. We've marketed this not only locally, but on a national level, because that's what the Home Spotter thing is going to do. It's going to put it out there everywhere.
Okay, cool.
Tons of people view it. Okay. It's going to put it on CNBC. It's going to put it on CNN's website. It's going to put it on Facebook. It's going to put it on Instagram. I think, how many websites are there, John, if they use that thing? It's going to,
I believe there's over 1,000 websites.
So literally it's going to put it on 1,000 websites, Debbie.
Okay, cool.
But
or websites that are relevant to that the algorithm thinks that it should show up to. So it's going to create a massive value Okay.
Cool.
How
Yay.
does that sound? Does that sound exciting? Good.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Very exciting.
Now here's the thing. If you did this, folks, to every one of your listings, right? Here's what would happen if you did a just listed and a just sold postcard program, and you followed everything that I just went without missing one of them. Okay. On average, statistically, you will average one more deal for every 4 listings that go live. You'll get one more transaction on average per 4 listings that go live on a worst case scenario.
Wow.
So let's just say that you do 20, let's say you do 15 to 20 listings a year. Okay. That means you can, let's just keep it simple, right? If you did 20, that means you can generate 4 or 5 more transactions just by marketing your property the right way.
Right. Cool. Very cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Scott, I know that was your mission this year too, right, Scott, is to really hone in on that?
It definitely is, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, because I like the statistics say every time a new listing comes up, 11 days later, another listing is going to pop up. So in the same neighborhood.
Right. Yeah. Now, if you start farming that area, it can even get better. If you use that listing to start farming an area consistently, it can even get better.
And could you use this also if you don't have any listings right now, where you just took an office listing and do the same thing?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. And even with the home spotter thing too, Scott, if you're just trying to generate leads in general and you don't have a listing that you need to promote, the home spotter app also has an application for promoting yourself as an agent. So like say you come up with some verbiage like Isaiah and I did around like trying to generate interest in people that want a cash offer on their home. We can help you create verbiage for that and then blast that advertisement out with an image of yourself to get people interested in calling you directly.
Okay, great.
Like Scott, you know what I would do? One thing you could do is take all of your hot leads and then put them bring them into a custom audience and then run a cash offer campaign to get them to opt in to create your own Z buyer campaign.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Alfredo, do you have any questions?
No, I'm right now. No, I was going to ask you about the call. I have my launch call today, and I know you mentioned the last time you mentioned about the social coach, and also today I should tell him about what exactly the challenge, 21-day challenge. He will know.
I think where you're at, Alfredo, they have a pretty good pathway they're going to walk you down through. And okay. I think if you just focus on that for your first 21 days, okay, that will be very good. And then if you come back to plan on attending my next virtual challenge, you'll be in a really good spot to participate.
You guys do, because I'm already doing a lot of, every day I do a lot of lead call calling. Like expire for sale by owners. I actually join there's a national group that I join in the morning. They do the same thing. I don't know if you heard of it. So we're all calling in Zoom. We're listening to each other, but at the same time calling expires and different,
That's
a lot
great.
of top agents doing that. It's actually the guy who organizes here in Orlando. And so I'm doing that. I'm trying to commit to that every day, which I actually put in your Facebook group that I'm going to be doing that in the next 30 days and, post my results later.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's what I've been doing every morning. At least I'm trying to do three hours in the morning.
That is great. Yeah. I would consider that part a lead. That would be a lead conversion challenge then. So okay. You're taking the leads and you're really focused on prospecting and converting a lead to an appointment through your prospecting efforts. So that would be you could label that the lead conversion challenge. That's what we trained on. And we trained how to call expireds and FSBOs at the last challenge for that specific topic. So that's great, man. That's really exciting. We've done a ton of transact. We love 470 owners and expireds. I think we've done through our inside sales team, we've done over 4,000 transactions through FSBOs and expireds alone. So we love them. I'm so glad to hear you doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that how our program could help you enhance this if you are prospecting is put circle prospecting into the mix.
Okay.
And you have access to unlimited geographical data through our program. And what you can do is, if you wanted to, you could just go into specific zip codes, or you could take your listing and download the data around the listing, and then use our hot market script just to say, hey, look, I just wanted to let you know we have a listing in the market. It sold really quickly, and now there's a surplus of inventory, or there's a surplus of buyers and not enough inventory. And I was just curious if you knew anybody who was open to selling their property in the near future. And you add that in addition to your 470 expireds. It's another great opportunity. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but you can also use our artificial intelligence to predict who's likely to be moving. So when you circle prospect, you can circle prospect smarter.
Is that something that the marketing coach do, or?
They can help you set it up. Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
They can help you set it up.
Depending on the zip code, or?
Yep. You just give them the zip code that you want to do the circle prospecting in. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Great. Well, let's wrap up there. That's pretty much what I had for today. Is there any last minute questions before we wrap up today's session?
I have a question on that circle or geo prospecting. Once you add people in and they're watching them, it seems like they stay marked hot or whatever forever, even though I've talked to them and they've kind of already sold, or they're like, one guy was a builder I worked with long ago, and there are people going into the database every day, into the internet every day. And I don't know, I guess I've gone in and changed the tags to them being something else, but as I get more and more people, sometimes I get a little confused about, and it's me taking notes, who I've talked to and who I haven't. So now do I create another tag for who I haven't talked to, or who I have talked to, or I don't know.
What's your recommendation there, John?
That's a tough one. I don't really.
Let us think through that, Debbie.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time on that one.
Like what we do is we put it into our 30, 60, 90 day follow-up if there's a chance of it still converting down the road. If not, we put it into like a not interested tag.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you can tag it as like not interested or like status as non-client. That way you can filter them out of your list of people that you're prospecting.
Yep.
And then we would just, it depends on what lead type they are. That would depict what kind of campaign we would use. So like if it was like, say like a FSBO or an expired and they weren't interested when you called them, you would status them as a non-client. You would put that they're a FSBO or expired to make sure you know, and then you would put them on like a slow home seller drip campaign that goes out like once every couple of weeks. And
Okay.
that would be like my best recommendation right now, but we can obviously look into that a little bit more.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Isaiah, you're showing your screen.
Yeah, I was
thank you.
trying to message him privately like, stop it. Stop it.
I appreciate that. I was going off on somebody earlier. You probably
I thought that was showing us how to do our that. What did you call it? The
That's what he was
LCM.
saying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's funny.
How to like, comment.
We were actually congratulating one of our employees here, Nate George, who hops on a lot of these trainings. He had a really good call with a client, and they decided to renew with us for another 2 years. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Yep.
Isaiah,
Yep.
is there anything different we would do if we were to offer to do this for another agent? If we don't have our own listing, but we want to generate maybe some buyers or for that agent to give them value, would we do this also the same, or would we do something different?
Scott, have you ever, I personally haven't ever like gone to a broker or team leader or anything and marketed somebody else's listing. I don't know if you've done that before.
I have. So usually just go to your broker to see, or even an agent who has a listing. And with the IDX, you've got to use their name on it too. So but you just advertise it like it's your own, but you have to just mention it's listed by who the listing agent is somewhere in the body down below.
Okay.
So yeah. And usually, so if you're advertising, they're going to want you to do it because it's advertising their listing, it's getting it out there. So yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
But Scott, you're saying, but still use the same marketing, what Isaiah was teaching us on?
Oh, absolutely. Just but then just put there like a tag to the listing. It's like an IDX. When you do an IDX with another property.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, so on a website, it'll list like a lot of listings, even though it's on your website, but it'll have somewhere where it says who the listing agent is somewhere. So that's all you have to do. You just have to follow whatever your state laws are as far as advertising and do that.
Okay.
And usually your broker can help you out with that, and he'll want to, advertise.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good question. Any other questions?
I learned something really, what I'm grateful for, something from your class yesterday.
Okay.
The mute button.
Oh yeah.
I got to tell you, because I am one who always go, I mean, I'll like agree with them in a conversation and they stop thinking. So now I was on a call with a client and I was in my car parked and I put the mute button on and I could hear myself where I wasn't interrupting him until he stopped. So
that's awesome.
That was probably the biggest takeaway that I got.
That's great. The mute button has saved me a lot of deals. Like from breaking report, just wanting to interrupt, like wanting to say something, right? And just like not letting him. So what we trained on yesterday is we just working on our active listening. And if we have this desire to kind of barge into the conversation before they're finished talking. And so the training that Scott did was put mute on while they're talking, so you don't have that temptation to interrupt them. And then when you feel like as they've kind of gone through their cycle, 1,000, 2,000, take the mute off and then start talking again. I thought it was great advice Scott gave.
That would be helpful for me.
Oh yeah, we're all guilty of it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for this session, you guys get together every Wednesday? Is that because I see so many things in the calendar with you? So
yeah. So the listing domination course is Wednesdays at 12:15, where we're really hyper focused on ways to either market our listings or generate more listings through different strategies.
Right.
Usually, as a general rule, Monday is more about leveraging the REN technology as a whole, the REN marketing as a whole, and then Fridays is more about looking at our operation, our business as a whole, and then saying, okay, what do we need to do? Do we need an admin? What do we need to do to get to the point where we can start attracting agents and leveraging our time more effectively as our business goes to the next level? And that's a lot of what Friday is about.
I see. Leveraging.
Yeah, leverage is getting the leverage to get our time back so we can focus on being the rainmaker, but also getting systems in place so that we can scale our business through hiring the right people and hopefully agent attraction, if that's something that you're interested in. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. John, anything else you want to talk about on this topic?
No, not specifically.
Okay.
I think we covered a lot there.
All right. I have a checklist here of this topic in the playbook. I got to find it. So if there's something that you can do to stall a little time here while I find it, before we can,
Gotcha. So everybody, interesting.
because I have a really good checklist of what I for you guys to literally go down through of everything you could do to market your listing, and then to make sure you get referrals from that listing after it closes. So I'm just trying to find.
Yeah. So another avenue that you can always take. Does anybody in here have a partner with like a lender or any specific vendors that you work with, right? Have you guys ever done a strategic partner type of promotion? Anybody ever heard of that?
No, but I definitely want to do more events with that.
Yeah, so what we recommend highly is take one of your lenders, take one of your preferred partners, and have them come in and record a video with you, so that you're kind of both referring each other, right? You're talking about their services that they offer, and then you're taking your services, right? And they're promoting you on why they work with you. And then what you can do is when you get a new listing, you can actually work with them on advertising your new listing to their database. So it's a strategic approach with your listings, because the lender is not going to mind blasting out your listing to a bunch of potential buyers, because they could come in and be the lender for that buyer for your home. Does that make sense to everybody? So step one would be to create that relationship with your strategic partner. Now I'm using lender as an example here because Debbie, we're talking about a listing, right? So it would make sense to partner with a lender, because then the lender can blast out this listing. Now they're not going to say like, this is my listing like you do, but they're going to create their own variation of that content. Like, hey, look at this beautiful new listing that my partner or my preferred partner, Debbie Howard, just listed. It's worth blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you want me to take you or to go see this property, right? Or let me know if you have any interest in this property so I can contact Debbie. And then you're working as the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, and going through them to get the mortgage loan. So it's a win-win-win type of situation. Does anybody have any questions with how that would look?
And I'm actually going to do a train. I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to train on this in depth next Wednesday. It's actually on the docket to be trained on next Wednesday. So I'm glad you brought it up, John.
It's almost like we just are in each other's minds, bro.
That's right.
Like,
hanging out too long. We call this your Dream 100. So the goal here is over time. It doesn't happen right away, but that you become extremely well networked with the top 100 service related companies in your local market, and you're in a constant rotation of doing these interviews and doing events together and doing joint promotions together, so that way you create a massive referral machine.
mm-hmm.
It's a long-term strategy, but as you see it out over the years, you get to the point once you hit you're going year 1, year 2, and then year 3, you start generating like your referrals just start like piling in, because you're networked with every single main service provider out there. So your name is associated with all of their names, and it's a very symbiotic relationship. Mm-hmm. A good example, by the way, is I run this. I have also done this not only for our brokerage, but also that's what makes our events so successful is the class. All the reason why all the people show up to my events, like those guest speakers, like Jeff and Z Buyer, and those are all part of my Dream 100, right? They're part of those speakers that I have involved. They're part of a network that I've created where we work together through mutual goals and refer people to each other.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah, do you want me to show them like a quick example video?
I want to save that for next week only because
That's
I don't.
fine.
I want to make sure that I have a chance to go over this. I'm glad. Let's just get you and I will get 100% on the same page with this training for next week.
Nope, that sounds good. I was also just trying to continue stalling.
Yeah. It's all good. All right. So this is a step-by-step checklist on what the premier dominant listing agents in the country do to take their listing, give them a great client experience, sell it for top dollar, maximize their commission, and generate a ton of referrals. It's a long list. It starts here. Okay. It goes through here. Don't feel like you got to get this all down perfect from day one. But the action step is go through and highlight what you feel confident you can execute on.
Isaiah, what page? So for those of us who can't see real well, what page is
page 103.
Is that on the digital or the book?
The digital. The digital, and it'll walk you through elongated, more detailed version, Debbie, of what we explained here. I gave you the one version that I felt confident that everybody can execute on. This one is a little bit more in depth, but will create amazing results. This is you guys hear me talk about Ben Lang? I think you guys have heard Ben Lang speak. Okay, so Ben Lang has generated an additional 10 to 12 listings that he would have never gotten if he didn't do this for all of his current listings. Just in 2020, just in 2021. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So next Wednesday when we come back, feel free to go through this and ask questions about it. We'll spend the first 10 minutes going over this if there's any questions, and then we'll transition into how to engage your Dream 100 and start creating a referral machine.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else, have a phenomenal day, and let's go get some listings.
See you at 3, John.
And then let's go market those listings. And then let's get some referrals from those listings. So,
and then let's all meet back up on Friday after we've gotten a couple of referrals. All right. By this Friday.
There you go.
Quick question.
Yep.
Sure.
Can you guys, it was in the book, and then the marketing calendar goes, 2021. Is it possible to get like the next couple months or so?
The 2022 is coming out the last week of December. So we'll have it published. I wish I could get it done sooner, but we're like trying to get it all done. I can appreciate you want to be proactive, but it's like we're trying our best to get it done sooner.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know I want it done like yesterday, but
he wants everything done yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Have a good day, Mike. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
John,
have a good one.